Hello. So I just have to say right away, I'm so dumb. I just recorded this video and I have to re-record it because I didn't put my stupid microphone on. So hopefully that means that this video will be even better because it's my second time running through it. So anyways, the purpose of today is to really talk about, you know, I don't know if quotations is the right thing to do, but what stops me in a yoga pose? So if you're getting into yoga, you're doing a pose and you can't quite get the full depth of the pose, how do you know what's stopping you? Is it muscular tension? Is it a bone? Is it a ligament? Is it a joint? It can be so hard to say. And so if you saw my last video, I talked a little bit about triangle pose and how the angle of the neck of the femur can really determine how deep somebody can get into certain poses. So if you didn't see it, I'll just recap it really quick. So depending on how the femur goes into the hip socket, let's say we want to come in to triangle pose. This is like a typical triangle pose. However, somebody may try to get in there and like this is all that they can do. And it might not mean they're stiff at all. It might have everything to do with how the bones are shaped through their leg and into their hip. So it's good. This is good information to have so that you don't keep trying to go deeper into a pose that physically, based off of your anatomy, that you're never going to be able to go deeper into. And so the ways to think about, what stops me is really there's two types. There's can be tensile tension that stops you, like, you're tight, your muscles are tight, you're not going to be able to go deeper, or there can be compression that stops you. So if we kind of go through this briefly, if I'm trying to touch my toes and I begin to reach forward and I feel sensation on the back of my legs, that is usually going to indicate tension. And so how to identify tension is usually you're going to feel the sensation in the direction away from the movement. So I'm moving forward, I feel the sensation on the back of my thigh. So that movement is kind of the opposite of what I'm doing. So that lets me know it's tension. Now, if we could pretend I could fold all the way down and get my chest on my legs, which I can't, so I'm just going to bend my knees. So pretend my legs are straight and then I'm super flexible. Compression, if it's compression that's stopping you from getting deeper into a pose, usually you're going to feel that in the direction of movement. So my legs are straight, I'm folding forward. The sensation that I feel is actually my chest hitting my thighs. So that sensation is moving in the direction that I am. So that lets me know that it's compression. If we look a little bit more about compression, there's really three different types. There's soft, medium, and hard compression. So the soft compression could be what I just showed you, where I'm having flesh hit flesh, skin hit skin. There's just no way you're going to be able to go any deeper, right? Second type of compression can be where flesh hits bone. And a really good example is if you're trying to do a deep lunge and your hip bone, the little bony part right there, you start to sink forward and you feel that dig into your thigh. That's bone hitting flesh. And for some people, it can be uncomfortable enough that there's just no way they're going to be able to go any deeper because they're having the bone dig into their thigh. And so that's going to be their end range for them. It doesn't matter how flexible they are. It's like this point is as far as they can go. And then lastly, the last compression is bone on bone. And so like if I try to open my arm up and fold my elbow back, it's just not going to happen because my elbow joint is bone on bone at this point. It's preventing me from going further. And so sensations that you can have along with that, if it's compression, if it's soft compression, it's going to feel more soft, springy, and there's not going to be any other really sensations. It's like there's not going to be any pain or anything. You're just going to feel your tissue hit your tissue. If it's a medium compression where you have bone hitting flesh, it can be a little more pinching or uncomfortable and kind of stuck feeling. And whereas if you have bone hitting bone, it's really interesting because typically if you get to that point, people will either feel like it's boring, like there's no sensation with it. Like when I open up my elbow and try to go deeper, it's just like, well, that's as far as it's going to go, but I don't have any pain or anything. It's just I can tell that's as far as it's going to go. But on the flip side, you can have bone on bone compression and it can feel risky or unsafe sometimes too. So that is kind of a mixed bag. Then if we kind of rewind and go back to tension, the different types of tension, there's surface tension from your skin, and then it can go all the way down into your ligaments and joint capsules. And so I have this awesome book. It's called Your Body, Your Yoga by Bernie Clark. So if you're interested in this stuff, get the book. It's like goes so in depth. But I'm just going to kind of read off of it so I don't forget to mention anything. So if we're talking about surface tension, usually it's spread out, usually it's more mild, and you can have a stretchy or tugging feeling, but it's not really that like it's tolerable. It's not necessarily painful, but you can just feel like a pulling or tugging. Typically, sometimes people can have a mild burning sensation if it's the surface tension that's preventing them from getting a little bit deeper. If we go underneath the surface to our connective tissue, to our myofascial structures of the body, if that happens, if that type of tension is preventing you from getting deeper into a pose, it can feel more spread out. It can feel like it's in multiple areas. It can feel ropey. It can feel tuggy or pulling. It can have a dull sensation. But what's interesting is it can also feel scratchy, swirling, circling even, and achy. If we keep going on the tension theme here and we go a little bit deeper into the body and we think about muscles and tendons, if it's a muscle or tendon that's stopping you from getting deeper into a pose, it's going to feel more localized. It's going to feel like a pretty good tugging sensation. It's going to feel tight. I think we all know what tightness feels like in our muscles. It can follow the shape of the muscle. It can be broad and flat. If it's more muscle, it's going to be found more in the belly. Like if I was trying to stretch my bicep and it was really tight and the muscle itself was preventing me from fully extending my arm, I'm going to feel more sensation in the middle of the muscle. However, if it's coming more from a tendon or ligament, I'm going to feel it closer to where it attaches to the bone. And those sensations around the muscles and tendons can feel sharp and burning too, if it's preventing you from getting deeper. And then even deeper than that is then we get to the ligaments and joint capsules. And if that's preventing you from getting deeper, it can just feel stuck. It can feel really deep. It can feel mysterious, like you don't quite know how to explain what you're feeling. You might just not really have a word to explain what it feels like. And that can also it can radiate, sensation can radiate. It can feel sparkly, electrical. Sometimes people will get zingers if they're starting to get into the ligament and joint capsule and it's not letting them stretch further. So I think I kind of went through the rundown of that. I'm talking so fast. I have so much to get out. I need to slow it down. So if you have questions, let me know. Send me a message. And like I mentioned, the book is wonderful if you want to dig a little bit deeper into some of that stuff. So anyways, hope that was helpful and I'll talk to you later. Bye.